Hey guys, welcome back to another Gacha Racing episode. But I probably should have looked at what number we're on before we started. I believe this is episode number 5 or 6. It will probably be in the title. So today we're going to go over we're going to go through what happened at Darlington, or as you can see going on in the background, what happened during the NASCAR Next Gen test, and Gran Truismo 7 for PS5 and PS4, and what it could mean for NASCAR. But before we get into that, I first, of course, have to mention that I have recently gotten like 1,000 views on 2 videos, which is very impressive. However, I have noticed that 99.4% of you guys are not subscribed. So feel free to get off of full screen if you're watching this full screen and go down to the big red button that says subscribe on it, click it, and ring that notification bell so that way you don't miss an upload. Now that the average YouTuber's out of the way, let's talk about what happened in Darlington. If I could get full screen, that would be fantastic. There we go. So, well, as we're watching right now, almost all of the playoff drivers were literally taken out in one way or another. A lot of unsuspecting people actually did pretty good from the playoffs before they were taken out. A few of those with the 34, which, as you can see what happened to him, he was actually like top 10. The 10 car, speaking of top 10, he was doing pretty good. The 20 of Christopher Bell, I think he had to do something down at pit road, and that cost him, but he was doing a really good job. And the one car is in like the top 3 all day. And not to mention the 11 and the 4, both had gone winless until this point, where the 11 of Denny Hamlin took it for the win. When Kyle Larson tried to video game bump it off the wall, I mean, he already tried iRacing once and failed at that, so I don't know what he was expecting. And not to mention, Denny Hamlin did go up high. So that was a good block by Denny Hamlin. He would be the winner of the Darlington race. And yeah, the 4 is still winless, but just watching Darlington, he has a chance, especially at Richmond and Bristol, where I believe he's pretty good at. Moving on from the Darlington race, Kyle Busch is fined for violations at Darlington Raceway. Well, was it right? Maybe. If you guys don't know what happened, I don't know if it will show the video here. Here we go. Oh, no, it's an next-gen Camry. That looks pretty cool. And here's an ad that maybe I can skip. 10. I don't think I can. Oh, boy. So, what happened to Kyle Busch was he was tapped in the left rear. Oh, never mind. I can show you guys what happened. That is the NASCAR Next Gen car. That is not what I wanted. Oh, well. So, Kyle Busch came down from in turn 3, I believe. Oh, turn 2. I can read. Hold on. Busch's car made significant contact with the outside retaining wall in turn 2 after lap 125 contact from the number 3, Richard Childress Racing Chevrolet, of a non-playoff driver, Austin Dillon. Busch drove away with heavy damage, but parked in the garage at the end of the race. While pulling into the garage area, Busch ran over several orange cones at a considerable amount of speed in the vicinity of spectators. So what happened there is Busch was coming out of turn 1 into turn 2. Bug, stop flying out my window. He went down low, and I think he didn't see the 3 car there, and it got him a little loose. He tail-ended the car off into the corner. Maybe I'll zoom. Maybe you guys can see the zoom, but here's the damage. And he went to the infield care center and came out and was like, you know what? This is what we get for running like bleep. Our Toyota M&M's Camry was bad all day. This is what we get for driving in the last place and all of that. Literally riffing his crew in the process. But on his way to the garage, he went down pit road. I don't know if it was at pit speed or not. No one seems to talk about that. And there were like orange cones. So you have the wall, right? And then like if there weren't orange cones there, there'd be like a little space where you can go into the garage and then another wall. There's 4 orange cones in one area, and then I guess it was about a singular car wide area to get into the garage. So Kyle Busch drove into pit road, frustratingly drove through the cones, and parked it right in front of his hauler. Well, he probably could have gone around the cones, which would have taken less time and probably would have caused less damage to the track. Uh, I kind of sort of feel like it's a mixture of both. Well, yes, he kind of sort of did turn into the garage rather quickly. He did slow down for a few people that were there. I think it was the guy who was carrying tires, and like a few officials just standing there. I kind of sort of feel like it's not only the 18's fault, but I feel like also the NASCAR officials, and I'm not saying that just as a Kyle Busch fan, because why would you have an opening to the garage that is, the closest to the damaged car, right? He wrecks off of turn 2, he has to come all the way around turns 3 and turns 4, and the closest entryway from turns 3 and turns 4 was that garage entrance. Why do you have cones there? How do you expect drivers to go through? Do you expect them to go all the way around the cones into a singular car wide? Yeah, I don't think so. Not to mention, why were there people there? If you know a car is going into the garage, you move the people out of the way, don't have the cones there in the first place, and let the driver drive through into his garage. I mean, I'm not a NASCAR official. What do I know? I'm 15. I don't work at NASCAR. But yes, I personally think that maybe the $50,000 for safety violation, yeah, I guess he probably could have gone a little bit slower into the garage. I don't necessarily think it is 100% Kyle Busch's fault. I honestly think it's a 50-50 between Kyle Busch and the entirety of NASCAR. Don't move. Not the ad speaking. Brought to you by McDonald's. Not really. I mean, hey, free promotion for McDonald's, I guess. Let's see here. Let's see if I can read this. NASCAR senior vice president of competition Scott Miller talked with SiriusXM NASCAR radio Tuesday morning about Busch's behavior. It was a situation that could have been bad. Fortunately, nobody got hit or anything like that, Miller said. It's all worked out, but putting people in harm's way is no reason. It's something we take seriously. In harm's way for no reason is something we take seriously. Let's see here. I can't find the rest of it, but I think there was something. And I'm gonna go off on this one for a little bit. Where it was like we care about the safety of our drivers and the team members and stuff. And I laugh in the face of that. Do you guys not remember COTA? I think I had an entire video about safety concerns on COTA. I haven't even talked about New Hampshire, right? I got this entire rant for New Hampshire and how they called the green flag when the track was wet. The TV showed that the track was wet. Fans are saying the track was wet. Drivers are saying that the track was wet. Crew members are saying that the track is wet. And your guys are like, it doesn't look wet from the pit box, because we're definitely not looking at the track. We're looking at the pretty blue sky that probably definitely exists. All right, green flag, go. And then they literally just wrecked a ton of good cars in the first lap. I have an entire rant about that. COTA, I already mentioned, I already have my own thing on that. Feel free to scroll through my videos to find that out. And then the Indy road course, where I also have an entire rant on that. The thing was like fine throughout the entire race, right? The chicane, if none of you guys know what I'm talking about, there. One of the corners, I don't know what corner, there's way too many corners at the Indy road course. One of the corners, the curbing came up, and I don't think it was coming up before, or maybe it like kind of sort of was. But they had an entire Indy race on there. They had an entire Xfinity race on there without any problems. And then they start messing with it like midway through the cup race, like, oh man, it's coming up or something. They're like, okay, whatever. And then they go green, and then the thing actually comes up. Well, they take that away. Okay, fine. There's like this big, basically speed bump on the complete inside of that to prevent drivers from cutting the chicane. Well, they didn't take that out, and that caused several cars flying. So that's a whole nother rant. If you want to hear me continue that rant, let me know in the comment section down below. That was, in fact, not on my list of things to talk about, but you know what? It happened. Alrighty, so after this, we are going to go to one of my favorite things, is the Daytona NASCAR Next Gen NASCAR Next Gen test. Alright, first of all, look at all these cars with the paint schemes on them. I mean, doesn't it look better than just like random black and white cars with like patterns on them, like a little red car, and just they look like real NASCAR race cars now, not like something that comes out of Cars 3. They have manufacturers now too, which definitely makes it not look like it just came out of Cars 3. I mean, it still kind of does, but like it's not like, oh yeah, we legit took something from Cars 3, made a manufacturer that we won't. It's not a manufacturer at all. It's just a NASCAR style body. But boom, they added that. All right, and one of the things you might notice, all right, so if you haven't been hearing the news of NASCAR recently, they decided to move the number forward. And how this was broken was the Kurt Busch is moving to 2311 Racing in the number 45 car. Well, in the video, they had the 45 slid to the front, kind of sort of like the 42 right here. And yeah, that was it. And I had not seen anything that NASCAR.com was like, oh yeah, we're moving the front number, we're moving the number to the front or anything. So I was like, okay, maybe it was just a design thing for the video. I mean, I did like the red interior with the red pipes. I think Dale Earnhardt had that for a little while, so that definitely looks cool. I was like, oh yeah, it's probably just a design thing. And then like I continued Google searching, going through the deepness of Google. And like finally, I found like this small tiny article that NASCAR's like, we're moving the numbers forward. And that's it. And it just went through the entirety of Kurt Busch, blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, we're moving numbers forward. Have a great day. Bye. And I'm like, that's it? You're not gonna be like, today, NASCAR announced that we are moving the numbers forward. No, they're just like 2311 Racing was right. Cool, have a great day. So I was like, okay. Now, I have something on the moving numbers forward, but first I'll scroll through these pictures real quick, let you guys get a look at some of them. NASCAR on YouTube also, I love the nose of that Mustang. It looks really cool. On their YouTube channel also has some NASCAR Next Gen videos and sounds. It's like 30 seconds long. I'll probably link it in the link in the description below, or put it on the right side corner. I'm probably pointing in the wrong area. You'll see. Look at Denny Hamlin right here. All right, he has the 2023 car where there's no number. It's just sticker. I hope that doesn't happen. I'll get to my opinions on the car number moving soon. I mean, like, look at that. Look how cool that is. Alrighty. And then I'll also have like some things like how you can make it good and whatnot. First off would be adding a paint scheme, Joey Logano. You literally just slapped the 22 on the side of the car and called it a day. And same with Denny Hamlin, except it was just his sponsor. Like, look at these! Like, there isn't really any good angles of Camrys, but like, look at the Mustang! Alright, as a Toyota person who's wearing a Chevy shirt right now, I am saying that the NASCAR Next Gen Mustangs look really cool. Alright, so that is all for that. So my opinions on the numbers. I'm gonna get this picture. If you guys have not noticed, that is actually my new profile picture, just because I love it so much. Alrighty, so was moving up the number a good idea? Yes. However, ... there is a way to make it look good, and a way to not make it look good. So if you guys were in NASCAR back in 2020, we decided to move the NASCAR All-Star Race to Bristol. Alright, yeah, cool. There was no action at all. So NASCAR was like, you know what? We're going to try something really cool. And it has something to deal with the back of the car. What are we going to do? We're going to stick a light under there. It's not going to be under the entire car. It's just going to be under the rear. Hold on. Let me Google a picture of the NASCAR Bristol All-Star Race. If I can get a new tab open. NASCAR Bristol All-Star Race. Images. So that way you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Boom. This one right here. That's a good example. If I can zoom in. If I can zoom in on it. If there. Coolio. Alright, so. What? I didn't want to do that. Okay. So, here we go. Here's our image. Cool. We'll roll with that. So, here's what the cars look like. And no, the colors are not paint scheme motivated either. It was just Ford is blue, Chevy is amber, and Toyota was like red, which looks the exact same as the Chevy. I'm not even gonna get into that. That's a whole rant on its own, but it already happened. So they moved the numbers back. All right. So I was like, okay. And a lot of the cars, they looked good. In fact, I think I got a bad example for trying to find a bad example. Because I really like how the two, you have to have it on like the right sides, all right? It's got to be big, and it's got to fit with the paint scheme. That is big, it fits with the paint scheme. The four, it doesn't look like it purposefully decided to just shove the number back. No, it looks like it should be there. They've got the bush can, the apples. It looks like it should be part of the scheme. Chase Elliott's, granted, around here, on underneath the number, I don't know if you guys can see my cursor or not. I probably would have continued keeping it white instead of like having the blue come up here. And like once it got past number, I would have had it like go up over the real well and continue there. So like it fits with the number. It still looks good. The number's big. The logo's big. It fits with the paint scheme. All right. So in my opinion, if they were going to shove it to the back, the thing has to look big. The sponsor has to look big. The number has to look big. It has to fit with the paint scheme. All three of these cars did really well. The Monster Energy Chevrolet. I am so mad that they didn't put a green light under this because that would have looked amazing. This paint scheme fit perfectly. This is my favorite NASCAR All-Star, NASCAR 2020 All-Star picture. All right, is this number one right here? Let's see if I can find one of the 18 because I have something to say about the 18. The 43 above walls back when he drove the 43. That one looked good. Let's see here. Here we go. I'll just zoom in on this one. It's gonna look blurry. Sorry, guys. All right. So the 18. It literally looked like they just took the number, shoved it to the back, moved the red M&M forward, and called it a day. Like. No, that doesn't look good. A lot of Kyle Busch's paint schemes. I don't know. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull out the small caramel M&M's one here. It looks like the number is. Hold on. Yeah, the number is on the M&M, right? It looks good, right? It looks like the number should be there, and then you got the red M&M in the back, and then he has the caramel all around. I really love the caramel M&M's paint scheme. And then boom on the other side. The number is in the M&M. Doesn't that look cool? Alrighty. So now we take a look at the NASCAR All-Star Kyle Busch paint scheme. It doesn't look like the number should be there at all. It just looks like the number exists. And like, that made me sad. So there are ways you can do the number sliding back good and not. But the problem is that we're not sliding the numbers back. No. We're sliding the numbers forward. And let me tell you, this 42 did it perfectly. The number fits with the paint scheme. It fits around the paint scheme. It looks like it should be there. The 42 looks like it should be there. It doesn't look like it was just shoved into the back just so they can appease what NASCAR wanted. It looks like it should be there. Not to mention the car looks amazing, but it looks like it should be there, right? Let's see if I can find another one that they just shoved forward. And see, like, if there was a bad example of that. The 3 car. It kind of sort of looks like they just shoved it forward. They did make the Tracker Boats logo big. They made the Bass Pro Shops big. Heck, look at that on the hood. It looks huge. I didn't even notice that. These sponsors are going to have a lot of room on these cars. I'm just saying. These things are wider than our current Cup cars, and it just looks amazing. However, the 3, it's not really a good angle either, so I probably can't judge, and probably because it has 2 decals on the side. But it kind of sort of looks like they just shoved the 2 decals, shoved the 3 over there. The number 3 is a good size. The sponsors are a really good size. The Tracker Boats probably could have been a bit smaller, but like, it doesn't really like fit with the paint scheme. Probably because like it's just black, so it doesn't have like cool colors on the side, and like the orange that goes in tie, it fits around the headlights, right? But I think what I'm looking for is like multicolored paint schemes, or like if it was like black with like orange stripes going down the side, and then the 3 fit with that, I think it would have looked a little bit better. But I don't know. It's just black and logos and like, eh. I mean, it's better than Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano's paint scheme, which is just black and then logos, or in Joey Logano's case, black and then color, and then number. Where like I don't mind darker paint schemes. Like I really love the 51 of Kyle Busch, his Cessna truck. I think that one looks good. Oh, here we go. I changed my mind actually. That 3 car looks really good. I just needed a better perspective of that. Holy cow. So yeah, it was just the angle. It just looked like it was black. Logo, number. No, this one is like number, logo, and then black and orange. It's not just black, orange on top, number, logo. It kind of sort of looks like it's supposed to be there. And the rear too. So cool. Now, okay, so this car is just black. That's it. That's the only color. It's a test car, and that's it. However, it looks really good with the gray stripes going down it. Even though it's not the current number style of the 41, it looks really good. Yet again, I'm not against dark cars. If that's what it made me sound like, you just have to do it right. And Kurt Busch's Monster Energy 45 car, if you guys ever get a chance to look at the video, it judging on what I said, you would just be like, oh, you probably just think it's black number logo. No, I think it's black number logo, and all of that should be there. It looks good. I think the 45 could have been a bit bigger, but all right, enough on that rant. I've probably spent like 45 minutes just on car decals. Gran Turismo 7 for the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 4. Yeah, you heard that right. Now this is a trailer from a year ago. They haven't really added a new trailer. However, I'm going to explain what happened. I believe it was today or earlier this week, sometime, Sony announced that Gran Turismo 5 is already released. Gran Turismo 7 will be released on the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 4. And that's really good for the people who oh man, I have a PlayStation 4, but I don't have a PlayStation 5, and I don't know if I want to buy a PlayStation 5 just to get upgraded graphics and blah 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 blah. Boom! You can just get a PlayStation 4, keep all your games, and not have to get a new console. I have a PS3, so I'm way far behind. I'm really hoping for a PlayStation 5 just to add Gran Turismo 7 to my list of favorite games to play, because I love Gran Turismo 6. I love it so much. I would love to have a PlayStation 5 to play Gran Turismo 7. Now, NASCAR. NASCAR is on the 2013 release, Gran Turismo 6. However, it wasn't in Gran Turismo Sport. And you want to know why? It was because the NASCAR gaming license was owned by 704 Games. And it's still going to be like that until 2029, if I remember reading the article correct. However, could NASCAR come in the Gran Turismo 7? Could Sony work out a deal with 704 Games where I could be like, hey, can we use NASCAR? So could it happen? I hope so. Let me pause this video right here because I'm gonna have something to say about where my cursor is right now. I really hope NASCAR can come back because Gran Turismo is supposed to be like the celebration of motorsports, right? You have the 24 Hours of Le Mans, you have Nürburgring, you have Daytona over here, you have Indianapolis. That's also in the game. You just have famous racetracks and many different cars from all over the world, and that's really cool. However, Gran Turismo Sport didn't have NASCAR, and I never played Gran Turismo Sport, and yet again now on a PlayStation 3, not a 4, so I can't say that Gran Turismo Sport was trash or Gran Turismo 6 is better and blah 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 blah. All I could say is from a NASCAR fan standpoint, NASCAR wasn't in there, and that kind of sort of disappoints me because a lot of people get Gran Turismo, and Gran Turismo 6 had their own NASCAR league, so that kind of sort of brought the just turning left sport into the eyes of many other fans. However, could they bring it back for Gran Turismo 7? I would hope so. I would hope they bring back this is the game of motorsports. If you whatever motorsport you want, you can be a master in anything. It's right here. I would love that so much. Do I think it will happen? I mean, I already mentioned it before. Yeah. Now, where my cursor is right now on the far left, you guys see that little triangle shape right there? Now, here's what I 100% think it's going to happen. That's Pocono. Alright, that is Pocono Motor Speedway, and you can't tell me otherwise. Unless it is a made-up track, that is Pocono. That track on the far left, right where my cursor is, that is Pocono. So I think that they have got Pocono into Gran Turismo 7. Now, does that mean NASCAR will come in? Yes, I think so. I hope so. I just realized I repeated the same thing over and over again. I'm really excited for Gran Turismo 7. It looks so realistic. The lighting, heck, you can see like the fabrics on the safety net over here. You can see like the little rumbles on the side over here. Except I guess I'm on low Wi-Fi or something. It does not look good right now. Trust me. I'll probably link it down below. Take a look at the trailer. It looks amazing. So yeah, that is all I had to say for the Gran Turismo 7. Now, I know this has probably been a long video, but here are my NASCAR playoff predictions. So we have Denny Hamlin right now, who's moving to the round of 12. I'm going to predict who else will make it into the round of 12. In fact, I think it would be easier to say who will be kicked out. Alright, I'm just going to easily take it off. I'm easily just going to say it right now. I'm sorry, Michael McDowell, our Daytona 500 winner in the underfunded team, Front Row Motorsports. I don't think he'll make it. I'm sorry, man. So I think Michael McDowell will will be kicked out of the playoffs. Next, someone who is currently right above the playoff bubble, Tyler Reddick. He's a rookie. Now, if he can make it to the championship 4, I'll be impressed. But I think he's going to be next on the chopping block. Next is another rookie who actually did very well at Darlington, Christopher Bell. I think he will be taken off the playoffs just because I don't think he's been doing that good this year. So I don't think he'll make it through. Next, I think will be Brad Kozlovsky. Now, unless Brad Kozlovsky can just make a comeback for the final part of the 2021 season, I don't think he'll make it. I don't think he'll make it to the round of 12. And so my last and final driver to be kicked off might surprise you. I think it's going to be Kevin Harvick. Now, something crazy will probably have to happen, considering he's 7th in points right now within the next 2 races. But we have Richmond, which, you cookie cutter oval track, and then you have Bristol. Anything can happen at Bristol, guys. So Kevin Harvick, unless he can get a win, unless he can shine at the very end, I don't think he'll be able to do it. So that is my 4 drivers and who I think is going to get kicked out. And when the round of 12 is over, I'll probably give you guys my predictions on who will make it to the round of 8. Alrighty, well, thank you for watching this 30-minute video. Holy cow, I'm so sorry. Well, I hope it was 30 minutes well spent. And I hope you guys learned some NASCAR news today. I'm Gacha Racing 18. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see y'all later. Race on.